Hey guys, this is a Duel Links video about how to get Harpies Hunting Ground on Mai. It's a powerful skill that basically what it does is when you summon a Harpy, it destroys any spell or trap card on the field. So how you farm for this is you have to use Mai and you have to beat other Legendary Duelists. The higher level they are, the greater the chance that that skill or any skill drops. So basically the way I did it is I got the skill called Balance on Mai, and Balance is a skill that will give you, will make your hand balanced in the beginning. Basically, if you're running like X number of monsters, like a third monsters, a third spells, and a third traps, you'll get one spell, one monster, and one trap in your opening hand. But basically how it works with a Cerebrus deck is that you're guaranteed, if you have 3 Cerebruses, you're guaranteed 1 in your starting hand. So I just use this deck against, after I unlocked Balance on Mai, I use this deck against really any level 40 duelist except Kaiba, Bandit Keep, and Shizu, because they have ways of directly killing Cerebrus. Use this deck against any level 40 duelist and you will always get 8,000 points guaranteed, and that gives you the highest chance of getting the skill. So you're probably asking, how do I get Balance? What do I do if I don't have Balance in the first place? So in that case, there is another deck that you can use. I just named it Skillless Farm. Like the name suggests, you don't need any particular skill for this deck. You do need a few cards. You need either 2 Riryokus, or there's a trap card called Spell Reclamation. I can show it to you guys. Basically what it does is whenever you play a spell card, you get it back. So you use that instead of 2 Riryokus. Basically the point of this deck is to fusion summon, to ritual summon, to gain points like that. And then in the last turn, when your deck is out of cards, you normal summon this guy. You ritual summon this dude by sacrificing the blue eyes on your field. This guy gains blue eyes attack, and then you just use some Riryokus, and basically you get this guy who does double damage when he direct attacks. You get his attack to at least 5,000. And then double 5,000 is 10,000, so then it's another way besides Cerebrus of doing 9999 damage. So to sum it up, to get Harpies Hunting Ground on Mai, you want to try and get Balance or Draw Sense Light on Mai, so then you can use Cerebrus, the Cerebrus method. And if you can't get Balance or Draw Sense Light, then you use the previous deck that I just showed. So I'm just going to show one duel with each of this deck to give you all an idea about how each deck works, and then maybe some suggestions for if you don't have a certain card, then you can let me know in the comments below, and I'll see what you can replace for the card that you don't have. But anyways, let's get right into the duels. Okay, so here we are. We're using the skillless deck, generic ritual deck, Piranha against Mako. This is level 30 Mako, by the way. So, like I said, your opening hand, you want to try and get a strong 1700 beater or unhappy girl. So it doesn't really matter what you start with. I should probably start with a monster, but basically with this card, they will never attack it in attack mode unless when it's in attack mode, unless it can do lethal damage to you. So it's kind of like cheating the AI. It's invincible as long as it's on the field. And the objective is to try and tribute summon Blue Eyes, and then in the last turn summon this Piranha guy. And then I'll show you when it happens, but basically this guy is what gives you the 9999 damage. And you summon him in the very last turn of the duel. So we just keep killing all of his monsters over and over again, and that's pretty much what you do for this entire duel. So like I said, this doesn't work against all duelists. You want someone like Mako or So there's our blue eyes. You want someone like Mako, someone who doesn't really have weird ways to destroy your monsters. So then once you get blue eyes on the field, it's going to be really hard for any level 30 duelist to kill it, because you know they don't have mirror wall and stuff like that. So you don't kill him obviously, so we'll just pass. And then what we want to do is fusion summon the Spirit Ryu fusion guy. We honestly, I mean, we can play one guy. Oh, actually, I don't even care if I discard, so we can discard one of these. So, if you need to discard in this deck, do not discard any of your combo pieces, like Ryoku's, never discard them, not the ritual. Discard the excess monsters, because the monsters are just there in this deck, so you can stall in the beginning, you don't die, and then, because remember, this is what you're gonna kill them with, the Piranha. So we can just, I mean, I don't even have to summon anything else. We can just attack, pass, and if you have nothing else that you can discard, then just start setting your spell cards. I don't like doing that because sometimes they run Dispel or God knows what, but so like I'll just show you. Hopefully it doesn't kill it with some Dispel or whatever, but basically, once you run out of cards to discard, then start setting your spell cards. And then remember, just keep clearing their monsters every turn, because if you let them build up too many monsters, then you can't win on the last turn. They'll have 3 monsters and you won't be able to win the duel and you'll deck out. So a lot of these cards are just filler, like enemy controllers in this deck, just because it's a prismatic and I got it from the KC Cup, so I'm like, I'll just toss it in there and hopefully it'll work out. I actually don't know if it will, but we'll just set it anyways and keep killing these guys. So you can mix and match. There are a lot of flex slots. Like I said, the only necessary thing in this deck are like a fusion monster to give you a lot of points, some generic beaters, preferably with 1700 or more, to hold the field until you can summon blue eyes. And then the equipped spells, the ritual spells, the Ryoku's, and then everything else is just filler. So like this enemy controller, if you have some glossy or prismatic card, just feel free to throw it in there. Alright, and yeah, I mean, this enemy controller is not going to end up working, I guess, because he's not playing any monsters face up, so there you go. I guess it's not that great. I just really wanted the bonus because prismatic cards give you 200 extra points, where glosses only give you 100, so it's really nice if you can use a prismatic, have a slot to spare for a prismatic card. You know, maybe if I leave up a monster, he won't, he'll flip it face up, or God knows. So, like I said, the cards I can discard are just the monsters. I don't need them anymore. Oh, there you go. Perfect. We'll just activate it right now. I mean, oh wait. Oh shoot. I think I need to control that. Hold on. He might be set. No, never mind. Change that monster now. For a second, I thought this. Oh, it's unaffected by spell cards. Oh, okay. Whatever. Okay. Just ignore me. I thought that this card could be tributed to destroy one of your spell cards, and I was afraid he would kill my Ryoku. That's why I hate setting them, but I was thinking of something else. You can just ignore that. Anyways, in our battle phase, do we have stuff to discard? Yeah, we still do, so we'll go ahead and kill off all his monsters in preparation for next turn, which I will show you is how this deck really works. I mean, if you guys are experienced, you've probably seen this deck or played it or know what's going to happen. But unfortunately, we drew this last because this would have given us 200 more points. It's a trap card and it's glossy. So if you play one trap, you get 100, and glossy is another 100. Oh, whatever. Can't use trap cards. So we'll just start by showing the strategies. So basically, oh, this gets a boost from this. Oh, anyway, so you start with summoning Piranha, and then you activate your Ryoku on your own Blue Eyes. Remember, Blue Eyes needs to be on the field, so try to have Blue Eyes summoned prior to the last turn, unless it's in the last card of your deck, which is just bad luck. So you use Ryoku, give the attack points to this guy, and then you ritual summon by tributing the Blue Eyes. Again, thanks to Viroshin for showing this strategy. I'm just showing that it can work even without a skill. Like in his video, he used this strategy against enemy controller Kaiba by adding some counter trap that stops enemy controller, but it works without balance. And he used it with Mako with balance, but I'm showing you that Mai has no skill right now. So tribute Blue Eyes, you take it with this dude, and then use Ritual Weapon to increase its attack to 5,000. And then you use your second Ryoku, and remember, if you have Spell Reclamation, you use Spell Reclamation, you chain it to when you draw your first, when you use your first Ryoku on Blue Eyes, unless you're unlucky and draw it as your last card. So like, this is not 100% win rate, but it's a pretty good win rate deck. So you have the 5k, you give its attack points to this guy. So this has 5,000 already, but only because of Umi, and because of Mako's field spell, Umi, whatever you want to call it. But so normally at this point it would have 4,800, and then 48 times 2 is 9,600. So that's why you need a one equipped spell. It doesn't have to be Gravity Axe, anything to boost its attack by at least 200 points. I'm sure you guys will have something. And then that's the final equipped spell that would normally bring it over 5,000, and then all you do is clear whatever monsters they have and attack them directly. So yeah, there you go. And then let's see how many points we get for this. Should be, I'm not sure if it'll be over 8,000, but it should be a good enough anyways. So no damage, that's not always going to happen. So should be fusion 84. Okay, way over 8,000. All right, so perfect. Let's look at the point total to see where you guys need to replace things. So no damage might not always happen. So let's say you do take damage somehow, like you didn't draw a monster on your first turn. That's 500 less, so 7,900. But remember, we drew our trap card last, and that trap would have given us an extra 200 points because it was glossy and a trap card. So that's still 8,100, even if we didn't get the no damage thing. So it's pretty much an 8,000. And this is skillless Mai. So let me go over this deck real fast. The 3 Cerebrus in this build means that no matter what, you will always get Cerebrus in your starting hand if you go second. If you go first, there is a chance that you get 4 spells or Mirror Wall and 3 spells, and they attack you directly, in which case you draw Cerebrus on your next turn. So it's always Cerebrus on your first and second turn guaranteed. I've tested this many times. Maybe you'll find an odd case where I'm wrong, but I doubt it. If you have 3. If you have 2 Cerebrus, this is still possible, but it's not as consistent. So I highly recommend, if you want to do this guaranteed 8k farming, you get 3 copies. It's not too bad. Maybe some of you chose it through the KC Cup, the Prismatic, or you just stop by the card trader every day and try and get this guy. He's not that expensive. But anyways, let me just go over the other cards. So I have the only essential cards are 3 Cerebrus. None of the other cards are essential to the deck. So the rest of the cards are just there. Like Ryoku is helpful. First of all, you don't need 2. I have 2 just because they're both prismatic. It's helpful, but it's not necessary. You can still boost his attack to over 9,000, 9999 without using this card. So if you don't have it and you have 3 Cerebrus, it's still possible. You just need a lot more better equipped spells, and you need to make sure you're using all your spells optimally, etc. So yeah, the only need 3 Cerebrus, and then so the Mirror Wall it could be any trap card. I'm using Mirror Wall for 2 reasons. One, it's a trap, which gives me 100 points because it's my only trap in the deck, and the second reason is it lowers my life points by 2,000. So let's say you have Cerebrus in your opening hand. And you play it, you boost his attack. At level 40, they'll never attack it again. So you're going to be at 4,000 life points. So you activate Mirror Wall, you drop to 2,000, then I use this card and this card, both paying 1,000 life points. So I know you can't drop to 0, but let's just say, let's just do the math. You drop to 0 life points using this effect twice, or this effect once, and then 2 of these guys. Then I have one of these, which is 400 points gain, one of these, which is 200 points gain. So we're at 600 right now, because you start at 4,000, you lose 4,000, 400 plus 200 is 600. Then I have a Twister, which lowers my life points by 500. So basically, all of this is just to get your life points at 100. And if your life points is at 100, you get 1k boost to your score. If your life points are not at 100 but they're below 1,000, then you still get 500 boost at least. But so don't worry too much about this. This is just there. So just for the extra points. I mean, if you miss out on this, it's not the end of the world. You'll still probably get over 7,000 score, which is not bad. But anyways, the rest of these cards are just filler. Like, this is just worthless crap. It's just there because it's a glossy. Same with Storm, enemy controllers, prismatic I got from KC Cup, so it's 200 points. And then yeah, so the rest of the cards are, this is a glossy field, so I'm using it. Yeah, the rest of the cards are just there for glossy. So I know a lot of you might have this from KC Cup. Put it in your deck, and if you do, use it with stop defense, because sometimes, I mean, a lot of times their monsters will only be in defense position, in face down defense position, so enemy controller won't work, and then it'll just be sitting in your hand. So then stop defense will put it face up, and then you can enemy control it for that prismatic bonus. But enough talk, let me show you this deck in a duel. If he's level 40, we'll use this deck. Let's see, he is level 40, perfect. So it's a perfect time to show you all this deck in action. So remember, all you need is the balance skill, which you farm for with the other deck I showed, and then 3 Cerebrus. So like I said, we're going first, and look, we have Cerebrus in the hand, so that's perfect. And if this doesn't happen, you're not going to get that perfect 100 life point thing, but that's, oh well, like you'll manage. And most of your games you're going to start with Cerebrus. Every time you go second, you're guaranteed it. So the strategy is, it's just like normal Cerebrus farm. Probably don't even have to explain this, but I'll do it anyways. Just try and get this guy's attack to, oh wow, I drew another Cerebrus. Try and get this guy's attack to your first Cerebrus. Try and get it to at least 1900 or 2400, so then it's invincible. Like, none of their monsters are strong enough to kill it. So we're not going to chain enemy. We're just going to end. So we're going to go ahead and use enemy controller on that guy. And just change his battle position to boost our Cerebrus' attack. So yeah, once you have a Cerebrus over at least, I would say 2400, you're invincible. And then all you do is wait. So Shard of Greed is just in the deck to make it go faster, so I don't spend a million years. Wow, I got 3 Cerebrus in the top whatever cards. That usually never happens, but... So we'll go ahead and set Middle Wall. And now it's just a snooze fest until we get to the end. I'll show it anyways, just to show that, just to prove the point that it'll work against a level 40 duelist. But yeah, it's quite boring from now on. You just pass infinitely. Once your Cerebrus is at a certain point, you use Ryoku on the last turn. So yeah, we can Twister. I mean, we can just activate her wall so it stops asking me. Should probably buff the Cerebrus to a little more attack just to be safe. So we'll pay 2k, and then we'll go ahead and Twister our own Mirror Wall to drop this to 1500. But So I'm farming Odeon right now. I recommend you do that if you don't have those 3 Gravekeeper cards already. So you can really hit 2 birds with 1 stone. You try and look for Harpy's Hunting Ground, and you farm for his super rare Gravekeeper's Recruiter at the same time. You know, so you save a lot of time this way. So you'll see that I don't even need to use all my spells to get over 999 attack. I'm just going to play all the glossy ones to try and rack up as many points. And here's our field spell, which we can activate. So, if all goes well, we'll be at 100 life points remaining and do 999 damage. So this is, remember, this spell is just there to lower my life points to 1,000. It does absolutely nothing. It's not even glossy, but... Alright, and then we can go ahead and do that. Again, another spell that's there because it's glossy. And get rid of this dude. Alright, so stop defense. We already used enemy controller. We can just never play that just to save time. And sure, we'll play that. It's glossy. Why not? You don't need our field spell anyways. You just pick a random card and try and kill it. Alright, great. Only 2 more cards. If you have another Shard of Greed, I only have 1. I would recommend putting in a second one to try and draw faster so you don't snooze through all of this boring stuff. I mean, the faster you can farm, you know, the more time you save. So I only have 1 Shard of Greed, so that's why there's only 1 in this deck. But you all can play around with the spell cards. It doesn't have to be precise. So here we're going to use our last 1k thing to drop to 100 to get that bonus, and then all we need to do is equip. Oh right, I forgot. Like this was just a little oversight. So I have Shooting Star Bow, which lets me attack directly at the cost of 1,000 attack points. If you don't have that, just run Stop Defense and then attack one of their monsters. That's all you need to do. And you only need 1 Riryoku, as I'll show right now. Because look, 1 Riryoku, I'm already at 10k attack. I don't need this. It's overkill. I don't even need this Gravity Axe. It's just there because, you know, why not? That means you can even replace this with another Shard of Greed if you had. But we'll use this second one anyways, just to get the bonus to see how many points we can get. And then here I'll show you, just to demonstrate. We could have stopped defense to whatever monster and then attacked this one instead if we didn't have Shooting Star, but we do, so we're going to just attack him directly and then deal a billion damage. So again, this is pretty easy, as long as you have balance and 3 Cerebrus, which isn't that hard to get. The balance is the hard part. I mean, not really. I got it 3 times, but maybe I was just lucky, and I got it through farming level 20s when I wasn't even trying, so... but yeah, here you go. That's 8,400. So what could we have minused, or what could we have avoided? Yeah, we didn't even need. That means we didn't even need 400 points, and we would have still gone 8,000. So which is nice. So that means you guys can skip 2 prismatic cards and still get 8,000 with this method. I mean, that's pretty good. So. Yeah, you just keep, so this is how you do it. You keep doing this and eventually you'll hit Harpies Hunting Ground. So those are the 2 ways to farm for Harpies Hunting Ground. Hopefully this video has been useful to you in one way or another. And if you have any other questions, just let me know in the comments below. I know a lot of you might not have like some of the cards. Like I'm seeing the most difficult thing would be getting 3 Cerebrus and balance, in this first deck, and then if you can't get balance, remember, use my first deck. Just review. Use the skillless deck. It'll work against, I showed you against Mako level 30. Mix and match, and you can let me know in the comments again, see who it works against. I tried level 30 Mako, it worked fine. And if you have any other better strats, let me know. Credit to Roshin for this deck, because he used this against the Kaiba, and I figured it'll work without balance as well if I throw enough beat down monsters. And I just put it on my. So yeah, thank you for watching and have a nice day.